All right, so I'm going to get us started. It's 5:40 p.m. So I'm calling the meeting together at 5:40. Let me just read the announcement at the top because I have to. So pursuant to Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2023, this meeting will be conducted via remote means. Members of the public who wish to watch or listen to the meeting may do so in the following manner. Video conference, see login information below. No in-person attendance of members of the public will be permitted, but every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings in real time via technological means. In the event that we are unable to do so, despite best efforts, we will post on the Topsfield website an audio or video recording, transcript, or other comprehensive record of the proceedings as soon as possible after the meeting, which now reminds me that I forgot to hit record. So
Thought you did
record.
that at the beginning, didn't you?
No.
It said record.
Yeah, it says
I thought-
recording.
When I
in the
logged
top
in,
right
it
of the
said
show.
recording.
Yeah, me too.
Maybe
Yeah.
Sam has it already.
Might auto record.
Oh, is that the let me see what happens here. There we go. That might have been the Read AI saying it's recording.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know.
I
I'm
thought
so
you when
confused.
you log, I don't know. I thought it just, yeah, okay, whatever.
Yeah, when I logged in, it said recording in effect.
Progress. Okay.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
All right. Well, we're now recording. We'll see when I go back to look at it for minutes. We'll see if it actually recorded me doing the announcements. So call to order announcements done. Approval of minutes. I mentioned this before we started recording, before I started the meeting. I did not get a chance to do those minutes. So they will have to be the next meeting. So that is not on the agenda for today. So that saves us time. That brings us to the next one, which is introduction of new members. And that would be Jake Monroe, which I think everybody on this video call knows Jake. But I'll let him talk a little bit about who he is. And he's got a new house in Hamilton after 6 months, I guess, 6 months ago, and owns the bike shop. So welcome, Jake. We're so excited that you are joining ECDC. I think you're going to have a lot of great ideas and super helpful. And I think it will help just kind of bring the business community together. So I'll turn it over to you if you want to give a quick intro.
Yeah, thanks, guys. So yeah, I own the bike shop in Topsfield. Obviously, it was the bicycle shop at Topsfield that I bought from Dave almost 2 years ago. Been open for almost 2 years, which is exciting. And yeah, it's been quite the journey. So before the bike shop, I was working in software sales and marketing, so selling cybersecurity software to government clients and Fortune 500 companies, and traveling a ton, and really kind of getting our product out there and selling it. And really, it was, kind of burnt me out. So I was kind of thinking what I wanted to do next, and I was looking at all sorts of other jobs and realized that it was all kind of the same thing. So I took a pause and worked at a bike shop in Manchester by the sea. And then Dave's shop came for sale, and I, kind of ripped the Band-Aid off and said I wanted to try something myself and do it. My whole family, basically on my side, is all entrepreneurs. My dad owned a landscaping company in North Andover. My sister owns a company in North Andover. My brother owns a company as well. So really, it was kind of in my blood a little bit, and always thought I wanted to do a business, run a business, but didn't know what it was. And the bike shop kind of spoke to me. So yeah, so it's been really exciting, kind of taking some of my aspects of doing, marketing and sales on a totally different scale and different product lines and things like that, but bringing that to a small business has been exciting. I was in the military prior to that, and that transition was interesting into cybersecurity or into sales and marketing, and now it's kind of another transition into owning my own business. So kind of figuring it out as I go, but really excited to be here, and the community at Topsfield has been awesome, as an entrepreneur, and my first business has been super welcoming and open. And so yeah, it's been really great to kind of serve the community here. So I'm excited to make some change too.
Yeah, and if anyone does have a gravel bike on Thursday night, I have not participated yet, but on Thursday night, Jake has a massive gravel ride, meaning there are so many people that join now.
Yeah.
What was the last count? Not last week, because I know it was a little bit low, but you
Yeah,
got up
we've
to
had
like
like
40?
50 or 60 every
Wow.
week. So
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
it's really cool because we have people locally that ride to the ride, and then we have people that come from New Hampshire, and a guy traveled 2 hours for the ride last
Wow.
week, and so we have people coming from all over for the Thursday rides. They've been getting a lot of good momentum. So that's been exciting. Then we weekend rides, and so this year, like the first year was really, how do I kind of keep the lights on and keep this thing going and build the business? And then this year has really been like, how do I build the community and do more around events and bringing people in from that aspect. So, and still keep the lights on. But yeah.
That's
Oh,
great.
good for you. Good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
Jake, where do you end up at the end of the bike race? Where, or the bike ride? Do you guys
Back at the shop. Yeah.
Sounds like if you had like a restaurant or a bar or someplace like that, it might be a good option for you guys at the conclusion.
Totally. Yeah.
We're working on that.
Yeah, that would be great.
Love it. You bring 50 to 60 people every week downtown Topsfield. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
been awesome.
Yeah.
Huge.
Exactly.
I'm glad you're here, Jake.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Thanks for the invite, and really
Welcome.
excited to be on this committee.
Yeah, so I'm just going to pause on that for a second. And this is kind of on the fly, so it's a little bit off the agenda. So Jake, you said that you got sworn in. Did everyone, I know Zilly, you're going to check. So Tom, Leslie,
I haven't. I didn't know I had to do it every year.
yeah.
And
And
I,
actually, now that I'm saying out loud, I haven't been sworn in yet either.
oh,
So we
I
couldn't
feel
have
much
done
better
minutes
now.
anyway.
Oh, boy. Oh, well.
Kevin, did you get sworn in?
I am. Yes.
Yeah.
Did Sam
You're
say
stuttering,
yes?
Kevin. You're stuttering.
Aaron, get over here.
Let's see the paperwork.
It's been kind of a crazy spring. But all right. So we couldn't have voted on minutes anyway. So, all right. The next item, which I'm super excited about, is our next business social, which is planned for August 7th. So I hope that everyone is able to attend. Gotta look because I'm forgetting. Is that a Thursday?
Yes.
Hmm.
It is.
Oh, it starts early though, Jake.
Okay,
Oh, yeah, for the ride. Good point.
Yeah.
that's fine.
What time does the ride start?
I can skip the ride that week. Don't worry about it.
There's
But
other-
so Zilly and I and Tom Rosa have been planning that. So I'll speak a little bit about it, but then I'll let Zilly and Tom add in. So you should have all gotten invites. It's August 7th. It's at the barn at Meredith Farm, which is going to be spectacular. And we sent out invites to about something in the low 50s right now. And some of those people have responded back with guests. There's a capacity limit for the barns who are closely monitoring the number of people that invite guests, because for January we sent out invites and just the business owners came. And seems like this time people would like to bring somebody. Usually, hopefully, it's just somebody that works with them and part of their business, but we'll see.
Mhm.
But we're going to meet with Tim. We're going to look at the space and we're going to talk about, he's got an overhead projector so we can have overheads. He does have some tables. I don't think we're going to set them up. We might have a few set up. And obviously he's got plenty of space there for us. And we will also have some light bites and some drink, just like we did for the January one. So
For
Celia,
one second, I
Tom,
thought you said light brights. When you said light bites,
we'll have light
so
break.
now I'm-
We'll play
now
that
I have
game.
like a
Games.
vision of like little light brights. Light brights.
Light bites. Thanks to Tom's wife, who's going to make those for us. But Celia, Tom, is there anything that you wanted to add to, or anyone have any questions?
I was just checking the Evite right now. It's at 59. Oh, sorry. 24 yeses, 6 maybes, 4 no's, and 25 no replies. And there's a handful of, so I might need to bump a reminder to the no replies. And then there's a handful that I think we still needed emails for that we were,
Yes. I got some of those from Sam.
okay.
So I'll
I
send
can
those
drop
over. I meant
in
to send those
today.
over. Yeah.
Did you guys who received them, the Evite, did it look okay? Because it's the free Evite, so it's like ads everywhere.
Yeah, it was
But-
fine.
Oh,
Yeah.
can you tell me more? So is he going to be talking about the highway building is and what they plan to do with that? Is that what Tim's doing?
So we'll have an agenda like we did for the January, and Tim and Brig will put on the agenda to have them give us an update on the highway garage.
Okay. That happens to be the night of the Topsfield Fair volunteer picnic, which I'm a trustee, so if I come, I won't be able to stay too long.
Okay.
Yeah, probably just for a half hour.
Is the picnic around the same time or a little later?
It's always that Thursday, the first week in August.
Like time, like does it start earlier?
It starts at 5:30.
Okay, same time.
Yeah, and they have food
Okay.
served and everything and rewards
Yeah.
and types. Yeah.
So that will probably last longer. I hope that you could come for the beginning maybe, and then hop over there for the awards. And
I want to hop over there for dinner.
for dinner for the whole.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I may not come to this to this
This one,
meeting.
if it's too much,
The
yeah.
mixer. I may not be able to come to the mixer because if I'm only there from 5:30 to 6, probably nothing gets discussed, and then I have to
Mhm.
leave.
Right,
Mhm.
right.
Start at 6. Yeah. So I just want to tell you that.
Yeah, sorry.
Julie or
hard to-
Tom, anything else did I miss anything?
No,
We're
I'm
looking for
really looking,
responses.
yeah, just responses, yeah. I mean, looking forward to it, just based on the first one. I think this is really gonna just keep elevating, getting people, get the word out, and I think it's
Just feeling
perfect
connected.
timing, with all, with things going on and all, so.
Right. And there's obviously more business owners in town than, when we started in January, I think it was a count of 25 business owners. And we had criteria because we knew, we're planning an event. We wanted to kind of start out to get our feet wet, just start out with a smaller crowd. And that was, I think just about everyone showed up that we invited. So that was very successful. So this one, we widened the net a little bit further, and we'll see how many people can attend. But there are more business owners, obviously, in Topsfield than even what we're inviting to August 7th. So who knows? The next one might be really, really large. So we'll see.
Mhm.
Okay. So that's it on business social, unless anyone has any questions. 6 is off the table because I haven't looked at the charter. Forgot to send it out to you. And I'm going to turn it over to Kevin because this is where the meat of today's meeting is, because there are a lot of updates that Kevin is going to provide.
Michelle, thanks. And I'm just going to lead by saying I'm really glad to have all you guys here and in this meeting, and not to be talking about something that we rolled out July 1 in townwide. So, no, joking aside, there's a lot of really good things going on that you guys have been involved with and in. Really excited around the next generation of the social gathering in a few weeks. It's going to be here before we know it. Thank you to everybody who helped put that together. We talked when Michelle took over leadership of this group. We sat down and talked about some of the things that we could really leverage with this group, and creating those networking opportunities is the next phase of what we were hoping with ECDC. And that first event we had, when was that? It was in the wintertime. I remember it was cold walking over, but it feels like it was more recent, but it was probably a while ago. That was such a huge success that I'm really grateful that we're carrying that forward with another one to keep the momentum going. So I'll just lead by thanking everybody it starts with this group here, and continue those networks events is really important. Homegrown markets. Those are our markets that we host out on the common. We started about 3 years ago. We've always put a little bit of a different flavor to it. The times have been changed a little bit. We did it for 4 weeks. We've done it for, once a month. And we were building towards having it again this year. We had some transition in our rec department. We have a new rec, temporary, but interim rec director, Scott Hovey, who's stepped up. But even before that, I think you all saw, I sent an email out asking for some help with it. It's a big lift. It's a lot of logistics. The playbook's kind of written. but every year we write our own chapters to the event, and it takes time more than anything else to connect with vendors and get organized. And so I heard from a few of you in particular. I want to thank Tom Rosa, Nicole and Anne Marie and the Rosa clan for stepping up and have really took the bull by the horns when they saw that there was a need for some help, and have, before Scott started in the process of helping us gather information, connect with different vendors, and start piecing the events together. And then since Scott started last week and into this week, kind of helping with fill those gaps, those needs that we have to help make sure the event's going to be happening and successful, which it will. Our first event is going to be this Wednesday. It's going to be from 5 to 7. Times have switched a little bit. It's a little bit later because we found people like to stay later. It's still light out, right? And so we're going to be 5 to 7 out there. It's also the first event on this Wednesday will be with the car show, which is an antique car show, which is a really popular event. And so with that, with our partnership with the COA, we hope to have a really great crowd. There'll be a food truck. Thank you, Tom, for your help on that. And there will be at least a dozen tables, if not more. And then the car show, like I said, and a DJ. So I hope everyone can make it. Spread the good word, because it should be a lot of fun. And then we'll have it every Wednesday through through August 20th. So I think that's 6, total that we'll have. And we're really excited for it. So glad we're going to be able to continue doing that.
And I don't want to jinx us, but the weather looks great for Wednesday.
Oh, fantastic. That's a big driver. I mean, I think it was 2 years ago. We had the hottest day of the year. We had a giant windstorm come through during the
That's
event.
right.
It rained another event. It was just like every possible catastrophe on weather came through, but we made it happen. The crowds weren't as great, but they were still there. It was good. And so with that, those events will continue, which is really great. Over at the shopping center downtown, we've signed off on the proof for the new sign that we're putting in for the tenants. That'll be located as you enter on the right-hand side on the TD or the M&T Bank side. It'll have the tenants listed, and it'll say the shopping center. It'll have a very similar look as the old one, but much more modern. It'll have granite posts on each side as well, which will I think make the sign look really, really great. So that's a long time coming, but we got the names and I know Michelle, you helped with acquiring the names of all the businesses. So thank you for your help on that.
Yeah, no problem. And Leslie, I know you were asking about it. So Deb Morong showed us the rendition today with everyone's names on it. It looks really nice.
Great.
And so then we do have a new tenant that's going through some of the boards and committees. Potential new tenant. They're looking at the end cap of the shopping center, the gift horse space. It's going to be potentially a daycare facility, which is an interesting use. It doesn't shout, dynamic. It's not a brewery or a bike shop or a coffee shop or, what it does is it actually, in a lot of ways, complements the uses of the existing businesses. If you think about it, this will bring a lot of people to Topsfield when they're picking up and dropping off their children or other people's children. And a lot of times, and I know I do this as a parent, you arrive a little bit early, you either sit in your car and respond to emails, or you go for a walk and grab a coffee or a slice of pizza or something like that, and you spend a little time in the town that you're coming to. So hopefully that'll drive some more business for you folks in the mornings and potentially in the afternoons as well. So they're going through their processes. There's some elements that we just need to figure out with it, only because daycare is very specific in state regulations and what they need to have on premise, et cetera. But they're working through the process. And I actually was on the phone with the broker before I got on this call with you folks, just getting an update where they're at. The Petco building, that's the building on Boston Route 1 by the fairgrounds. I mean, I can call it everyone knows the Petco building, right? Joe, the owner, doesn't want to call it the Petco building anymore, but for the purposes of this conversation, we'll call it the Petco building. And so, at any rate, met with him. One of our select board members, Boyd Jackson, and I met with the owner to talk about when the Petco left, what the vision is for that space, plans, etc. We talked about a possible restaurant going in there, but more recently with the economy and the uncertainty with a lot of different things in the prior few months, there seems to be a hesitance to building out a restaurant. Restaurants can be very expensive. And so I think he's taking a half a step back from that and looking at that as well as other options. He had one restaurant that would have been great to put in that space that was interested, and then they weren't, partly because of the economy uncertainty with the economy. But we'll see what happens there. But we're tuned in. We built a relationship with Joe, the owner, and we'll continue to work through the different options that he might source for that space. Because it'd be great to get a nice complementary use up there, for sure. And then I got two last main updates, and then you guys have any questions on anything else you want me to provide updates on it, please. But the first is Alfalfa Farm. I don't know if anyone's driven down 95, but if you take a look going northbound to your right, you'll notice there's some significant improvements happening on the property. Paul from Essex County Brewery about a year ago reached out when he got the property under agreement. His intentions to put a brewery, keep the winery, and also add a distillery on the property. Basically taking what's been in existing use and then adding other types of opportunities for people, which I've seen the renditions, I've walked the property. It's going to be phenomenal. It's going to attract people to Topsfield. It's right in the outskirts of the community. There are still, neighborhoods and other people that live there, but from traffic perspective, people coming, hopefully it's not going to be of a major impact, but the benefit that's going to come out of that from an economic development standpoint is amazing. What they're going to do could turn that into a destination for people, not just in Topsfield and some of the surrounding communities, but well beyond that, and bring people into our community, which would be great. And so they're working through their process with that. They need to get a special permit for event and conference center use. However, they're already at an advantage because it's been used in a very similar way for years and years, and there's some grandfathering components that might be considered. And in addition to that, across the street, Connemara Farm did receive their special permit for event and conference center for weddings. And that's farther away from the highway from a noise perspective, and a little bit different of a prior use where it was a farm going to a wedding venue. Now you have a winery / farm now becoming a winery, brewery, distillery / farm. Just a lot of investment dollars wise going into that space to make it something people hopefully will be attracted to. And then 10 School Ave, that is our old highway garage. As everyone knows, we put that out to RFP 3 times. On our third time, we had 2 respondents. And we had a selection committee that reviewed them, made a recommendation to the select board. It was very close, but Tim Collins and Brig Leland were the recommended respondents to purchase the property and improve it. The board voted unanimously to support that. And right now we're in negotiations on a purchase and sales agreement. And we've granted an access agreement to Tim Collins and Brig to access and start doing due diligence on 10 Schools Ave property. But as you know, the town negotiated an exclusive option to purchase the adjacent property, the land at 35R Main Street. And then the owner of that is also granted 2 weeks ago an access agreement to Tim and Brig to start doing their due diligence on that property. Mostly what they'll start doing is septic. They'll start working through identifying the proper size, the proper location for the reserve. And at the same time, we'll do any environmental testing they need to take care of. They'll start getting their construction people, architects and engineers to look at the building and how they're going to redo it. But if you haven't, it's on the website. There's a great, there's a page that talks about the building. It talks about the 2 applicants and all the details of the proposal for both, but in particular now we're looking at Tim and Brig, can be found on the website for anyone who might want to explore the details of it. But super exciting. I mean, they're going to do it absolutely correct. And they have this great concept where, we talked about the survey we've done a few years ago where 97%, 93%, somewhere in the mid to high 90s of the respondents, and it was over 260 respondents, which is statistically significant for Topsfield, said, we want a full service restaurant, at least one in Topsfield. And there's limited places to locate these. And obviously in the downtown's a great location to put a restaurant. Again, brings people downtown. It's the hub, right? It's the community gathering location. And in this space, they're going to be having a 70 plus or minus seat restaurant on the first floor in the right side of the building. Above it, they're going to bump out the roof and have a high vaulted ceiling where that'll be for events. They'll have an oversized kitchen in the middle. And then on the far left, they're going to build a market where Brig Leland, who owns a farm, 11th generation out of Andover or North Andover. I always confuse the two.
North Andover.
North Andover. He's last handful of years plus, they've been doing winery there and events. Very successfully, Best of Boston, Best of North Shore award winning. And in the market, they'll be selling the wine that they produce up there, as well as prepared meals and other things that go along with the theme and what they're trying to accomplish there. But what we really liked about that was it's food based, but it's 4 different business lines that at minimum that they'll able to leverage to try to make it work from a financial standpoint. We knew a standalone restaurant and in and of itself was very unlikely to be successful because of the costs and the build out to improve the space. But adding those different elements to it from a business standpoint and a business model made it a much more potentially viable option. And so very excited to work with Tim and Brig. I think they're going to do a great job. We got a lot of work to do, but it's heading in the right direction. Madam Chair, with that, I probably have more I can speak to, but I will pause. And if anyone has any questions or on these or anything else that I didn't cover, please feel free.
Kevin, what's the timeline for the daycare?
So my understanding is right now they're going through planning board and the Board of Health for septic and site plan review. They make sure they have the appropriate amount of parking, etc. I know having a firm date, but once they get through and provide the material to the boards, they'll vote to approve. And once that's approved, the ball's in the court of the applicant to build out the space and then open it up.
So they already made an agreement with Peter Flomp, or is that just?
I'm assuming
signed a lease.
I haven't seen a lease, nor have I asked for one. But if they did, I would assume any good business person would probably contingent that lease on approvals at the town level to make sure that it's allowed before committing.
I mean, this isn't the first time that something has been planned that fell through, like the dancing school. And is it an established daycare or is it a new startup?
They have a very well-established daycare in a neighboring town, is my understanding.
Great.
From the sun goes. They're great.
Jake's familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
I don't know if you
familiar.
could hear. Jake said his son goes there.
Oh yeah, my son goes there. It's great. Yeah.
Cut off. It would be nice to
Can I
get
ask a-
something in that space.
Yeah, I hope they can get what they
You have
need.
to mitigate a lot of mold in there first.
Yeah. Yeah, they have their work cut out for them. I have a separate question if I can. Just about, we mentioned the Petco building. I think it's sort of, it will always be called that, the way we always call Country Farms, Cumberland Farms. Anyway, so you have a relationship with that landlord. If anybody does have suggestions or hears about someone who's looking for a space, would we, I don't have that, but if it did come up, was it something that we can bring to you to bring to him?
Whatever works for you folks. I think on the building it has the phone number to call.
Yeah. Okay.
And if someone wanted to call that, they're welcome to call directly. If they want an introduction and they have an idea for that space, they're always welcome to reach out to my office. I'll spend the time, learn a little bit about what their vision is, and then if it makes good sense, connect them to Joe to have a conversation.
Okay, thank you.
Kevin, I have a question, and not to get the big involved in the trash program, but can I ask, so I know there's an additional charge for the trash barrel, $180 for the sticker. And, you know, being a member of the ECDC, sometimes I try to help residents whenever I can, not every single day, but I decided to take it upon myself to reply and break down the $180 into weekly amounts. And it basically is, after the cost of the trash barrel, the $180 a week, $180 annually comes to about $3.50 a week.
That's
So
right.
my point is, but I do have a question. When we use the word tipping for that additional trash barrel, did that mean tipping it into the truck or tipping as a spip or something? Because, you know, we're never going to be able to please everyone, but I think sometimes people have valid points. But the word tipping, how was that meant when it was used regarding that?
Yeah. So most times when it's referred to as tipping, it's a tipping fee. And the tipping fee is negotiated in the contract. The town pays on every ton of trash that we produce, we pay $110 in Topsfield, which is about $10 to $15 less than most communities. We got to really,
Okay.
Gmail worked really well with us to try to get those numbers down.
Yep.
And so that's typically when they say tipping, it's the weight, it's the cost of the tipping fee is the fee per ton for the waste. Is probably the best way to describe it. So, for example, like $180 a year for your second bin will likely not cover the real cost to the town in actual weight produced by that second
Oh,
bin.
okay. All right.
So, like you said, $3.50.
Yeah, but for one barrel, and then
a
it's
really
like
great
$7
deal.
if you got two, and I think most people in town have said, not that I interview them, but I just see comments, would say, you know what? Just tell me what it's going to cost. I don't want to add extra onto my plate to have to drive here and there, everywhere, whatever.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes, you know, it's human nature. When you see the word tipping, I think people can feel like, well, ooh, what's up with that? Someone's getting a tip. I don't think people realize what that word meant. And so I didn't even realize what it meant either. That's why I was asking in case it comes up and so forth. But
so from an economic development standpoint with the trash, I mean, there is going to be some connections with that, right? People are talking about it at that level, and then there's the reality of, you know, people aren't going to come to Gills to buy stickers anymore. Right. So what we did, which I hopefully will be beneficial to two of our businesses, is the co-op and Dawson's will be selling those bins, recycling in the trash. And so hopefully when people come in, they'll be able to maybe pick up some nails or birdseed, whatever they need. So there is that opportunity to when people come in. But they won't be coming down as often to purchase those stickers. That's for sure. And the reason for that is with automation, we can't do the sticker program anymore. Bags are not going to be picked up.
Right.
And so what we tried to do, you talked about how much is $180, relatively speaking. Let me just say this. We're one of the least expensive options for the size that we offer if you were to buy a second. And the data backed it up. Zilli and the Sustainable Advisory Committee did some really great research. 2,900 households they looked at over 8 different periods of time during a year and a half span. And around 2/3 of the community on a weekly basis is putting 35 gallons out. That means 1/3 of the community is buying stickers and putting on bags. And that's real revenue that comes in for the town when those are purchased to offset our costs. And so to try to mimic the existing plan the best we could, because people seem to like it, can't do the stickers, but you can. We want to make sure that we didn't tax fixed income seniors or anybody like that, where if we gave everybody a 65-gallon bin and we get everybody a trash fee like Boxer did, love Boxer, but their plan, this is what they did. Everybody's paying the same no matter how much you put out. Whereas in our current model for 2/3 of the population, you don't have to pay anything typically. So we want to keep that. And that's why this plan with the single 35 option to buy a second allows us to make sure we have that revenue that we rely on to avoid overrides or trash fees, but also make sure it's equitable for everybody in this community. And so I think that there is some change that's happening with some of the 4 locations that sold the stickers. They're not going to be selling stickers ever a little further, but they really, none of them complained. I think
Oh, yeah,
it's a
right.
relief. It
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
something where they were, super excited. It was more they were doing it to help the town out.
Right.
But I think I got to publicly thank Aldo at Dawson's slash Ace and Wes and Dave over at the co-op. Amazing partners. We brought them in and we told them what we were looking to do, and they didn't hesitate. They said, "How can we help?" And now they're in the middle of it with us, making
Yeah,
sure
right,
we get
right.
those bins.
Right.
And they're doing amazing work. So I appreciate their partnership on this.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people on this call right here have been helping over the last year and a half build the program, help explain the program, and will
Sure.
still be part of this team as we continue to move. It has kind of coming down, which allows us to open up and be more capacity to take on,
Right.
as I jokingly said at the top, things that are a lot maybe more fun to talk about, which is the stuff.
I know. I want something. One more thing.
Oh.
Okay, just want to say, so here's the thing. I'm thinking that a lot of people, they're not going to be able to put cardboard boxes out separately now. So some of them may be going to the DPW garage. Have we considered maybe doubling the size of that dumpster? Because I'm thinking that a lot of people are going to be bringing their boxes. They may end up, what I'm saying? I think that there's going to be a big influx of more cardboard there.
So Tom,
Hot off the press.
it's really funny because
First
thing this morning, Gary Wilds, our DPW superintendent, came in.
Yeah.
He goes, "I didn't want to blow up your weekend, so I waited to show you this picture till now." And he showed me a picture of we put that dumpster, the cardboard dumpster out at the garage.
Yeah.
And it's filled up, and there's a couple of layers of cardboard next to it. And I said, "Gary, that's awesome. People are using it." I said, "People are using it, and it's not like they're dumping TVs and
right. Yes.
Mattresses. They're doing the right thing. They're putting
Yes.
the cardboard where the
Yes.
cardboard's supposed to be.
Yes.
Working." And I said, "I think what we need to do though is," and he said, "Can we up the amount of pickups?" And there's no cost to us. The agreement that we came to said they'll empty it when it needs to be emptied.
Perfect.
So I said, absolutely, call up Mello, see if they want to pick it up. And I said, you know what? At the same time, why don't you ask Mello if they want to get a bigger dumpster? It might be easier for them.
Honestly, I believe that's why I was bringing it up, because I really believe that, and I guess I was right, this big influx of the cardboard going to be there. And it just means that Gary might have to pick it up and put it in there. So if a bigger dumpster was there, it would probably make it more efficient for everyone, I would think, right?
And Michelle
Okay,
and I, before the meeting, we're meeting on a couple other things. We talked about this briefly, and same thing. We talked about the dumpster and the cardboard use. I'm ecstatic how many, from a sustainability standpoint,
I know
we're pulling out all that cardboard and it's a cleaner product, doesn't get contaminated with any type of waste on it. And then you look at, people are taking advantage of the things we've set up, those levers we created, so that
it's free to them. It's free to them, really,
100%.
when you think about it, right?
And free to the town. J. Mello, keep putting it up there. Let's go.
Okay, good. Good.
I joined the composting, and what's great about that is that you can put a lot more in there than just vegetable peels, like expired food from your refrigerator and bones and all types of stuff. And I've been trying to promote that too, because that's something that really is great for our food chain and disposals. And
Leslie, that's probably one of the best things you can do for the environment, and it's also it's a win-win for everybody. It's less expensive if you do that than getting a second bin. Not much it is.
Yeah.
And in addition to that, we talked about tipping, the weight. You're removing the tipping out of what we pay for tipping, and your Black Earth is taking care of that now. So it financially benefits both the user and the town, and it's good for the environment. We hope everybody.
It's a triple win.
Yeah.
And Zilly, I don't know, do you want to add anything to this? I know you're something you're passionate about.
I did want to just say thanks to Tom for asking the question, because people might come into some of our shops asking like these kinds of questions. And it's interesting. I never actually even thought about the tipping, because I've been in this world for so long, like that word being misunderstood. But it's probably the cleanest way I would describe it is a disposal cost by ton, by weight. So, and the easiest way to explain like the second cart costing money is like the town didn't want to have a trash fee for the basic service. And so then if you think of it just like a utility, just like electricity or water, if you use more, you pay more. So you're using more disposal service, you're paying for that. And then the other beautiful piece is what Leslie just said, is this makes it accessible for people who might have wanted to compost, but we're trying to figure out whether to pay for it. It's like you pay for composting for a lot of families that removes the need for more trash. And there's so many other ways to reduce the volume of your trash besides, but so those are just the things that might be helpful to you guys as the conversation buzzes around town.
Well,
So-
Julie, thanks for all the work you've done. You've done so much work in communicating everything to people, giving them ideas and being open to listening to people and meeting with them and so forth and so on. And I mean, it takes a village, but you've done a lot of work. So thank you for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I
definitely
missed the
team
first
ethics.
the first trash pickup. We were away on vacation. So from what I understand, we're commingling all of our jars and our plastic and our cardboard into that one recycling bin. That's it.
If you can fit it all, yes.
Yeah.
And if you
And then
can't,
we can't.
go to-
Yeah, I'm
go
going to go to
DPW.
the DPW.
You
Okay.
got it.
And then the pickup of our old receptacles is happening mid-August.
So there's two options. Well, before I say that, the other option is too on what you said, Leslie, is we also worked out with Mello that because they're only about 10 minutes up the street, and they have a transportation. If you ever need like a one-off, like you can't fit all your recyclables, and even with the cardboard dump or trash for that matter, you can run it up to G Mello's facility and be treated like a Georgetown resident.
Okay.
And you can get a second cart for your house. You don't have to pay for servicing it.
Yeah, recycling is not additional one-time fee for the actual bin, and then you have it for life at no additional cost for a second recycling bin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a really good deal. We did an analysis just because we looked at how we can stack up with different communities that have gone to automation, because everybody has to. That's every contract that's coming up. They won't do back of the truck anymore. It's not safe and it costs too much money to the vendors, especially a small town like Topsfield. Like, yeah, we're not interested in that liability. But I just lost my train. I'm sorry, guys. But yeah, what was my point? Sorry, that's like never happens to me. I got
A lot
concussed.
going on.
I
Well, I have
literally
a
got
question for
I
you.
literally had a concussion Friday. I think this might be a symptom of it.
Are you serious? You did?
I did. It was
Oh, Kevin,
it was fine. It was fine. I only lost consciousness for a few seconds.
are you kidding?
Oh, wow.
How?
Oh.
What happened?
I got a
Oh
knee to
my
the head.
gosh.
We'll just leave it at that.
Oh,
Oh, Kevin.
jeez.
But I just go back to like with the trash. I do appreciate that we're talking about it, because the trash, you are on all, like everybody here at some point, you're either talking with a customer, or you're walking your dog, or you're having conversations with people, and there is nuance to this trash plan, but it's a really, really thoughtful, multiple year, consideration. And what we did collectively was something that not many people in Massachusetts have done. And DEP actually is looked in the room during these discussions, and we kind of came to our conclusion. They weren't influencing us, but they're answering questions. They actually said DEP is watching Topsfield. They are very excited about what you guys are doing right here. We're hoping this can become sort of the gold standard of how communities can go from a pay-as-you-throw or modified pay-as-you-throw to an automated system. But instead of just giving everybody a big bin, have options for people to actually maintain some equity in how much you produce and waste. And I remember what my thought was. We compared other automated communities to Topsfield to see how we stacked up. We looked at Topsfield old, Topsfield current, and then we looked at Concord. They have a very similar plan, 35 gallons, but they have a universal trash fee for almost $500 a year for everybody just to have your 35-gallon trash picked up. We're free at 35.
That's great.
If you go up to 70 gallons total for Topsfield, you're looking at $180 cost. It is, except for West Newbury, it is the best deal you can find. $175 in Boxford for everybody, universal. Doesn't matter if you put one bag out or you fill up 65 gallons, you're paying a $175 trash fee. And you're getting 65 gallons no matter what. If you look at Hamilton and Wenham, they have 35-gallon as well, but they have overflow options that are much more expensive than our option is at $180. Middleton doesn't even pick up, right? You have to go to a transfer station or hire your own person to come pick it up. Very happy with the plan, and its execution is going very well. And I think hopefully people get into that rhythm and understand the nuances. And you guys are champions in helping push people to the right places to get real information, facts, and how to make it work. And I'll say this too: there's been an amazing amount of people, probably say over 50 people, have come to my office at some point in the last few weeks. Everybody's been so amazing and gracious and just asking the right questions. How do I make this work? No one's been, a few people have been a little upset, but people have been so respectful, understanding. A lot of people said, oh, this is this works for me. I only put 35 out every week. And that's the data says most people do.
I have a question. I had a lithium lamp that I had to dispose of, and I learned that over in Boxford I could dispose of it there. So of course I discovered their transfer station behind
Right.
Town Hall. And I'm like, hey, I mean, can we dump off stuff in their other little receptacles there if we want, or we have to go to Mellow?
So the
Mm.
good news is that we have reciprocity over in Boxford. So you just take advantage of their transfer station.
Okay, great. Excuse me.
Send them to Boxford. No, Boxford residents can come to Topsfield for their yard composting. And so our agreement is that Topsfield people can take it. It's a cost. You have to pay for your disposal, but it's allowed. Just like you would as a Boxford resident, you pay the same.
I don't know about anybody else, but I happened to witness the Mellow truck coming down Main Street to the residents, and I watched them pick up it was amazing. The truck itself, the driver's like on the passenger side, and how quick, it's just so easy how this thing comes out and picks up the barrel and brings it up onto the truck so quickly it goes on. I thought it was fascinating. It was like this high-tech truck that I've never ever seen before. It was amazing, I thought.
That truck you saw, they bought it out of Connecticut. It's 2 years old. And so it helped us in our contract because those trucks cost, it's $1 million truck and it's built into your contract, right? And so a lot of haulers, when you sign a new contract, they just go out and build a new truck. It takes 8 months to build, and then you have a new truck for $1 million. If it's like when you buy a car, as soon as it leaves the lot, the value plummets, right? So it's not that dissimilar with a trash truck. So Mellow was able to get some of our pricing down by buying a 1.5-year-old truck that was leased temporarily from another community, just as a temporary solution that was available, and they got a discount. So the savings that Mellow found was then turned back to our contract, which ultimately saves money for the taxpayers of Topsfield, which is pretty cool.
It was so fascinating. The truck itself was so fascinating to see the whole process and the truck and everything. Really, really was.
So
It is pretty cool.
I didn't have to pay to dispose of that lithium lamp. But if I wanted to dump off other things in Boxford, I would have to pay, is what you're saying?
My understanding is if there is a cost, whatever the cost is in Boxford would be reflective on Topsfield residents. They won't treat you any different. So some things, it sounds like, can be received at no cost. And I assume the cost of lithium that's great. They didn't charge you. But they'll treat you the same as the Boxford residents. If there's a cost, there'll be one. If there's no cost, there's no cost.
Okay.
Doug and I used to go over there years ago to drop off stuff, and they did charge us. I believe they have a website on the Boxford Town website. I think they have a page.
Yeah, I mean, we've been going to Mellow to drop off stuff, and then of course we pay as we throw there, for certain things. But if Boxford takes it for free, then I would go over there.
Yeah, I think they do charge you. And I would just mention that also, which it sounds like, Lizzie, you do that already, but for years, Doug and I have always gone up to Mellow probably 4 to 6 times a year when we do like cleanouts, or we have, a party or something like that, and we have extra trash, or we accidentally go away and we have trash that we want to get rid of before we, not accidentally go away, but if we accidentally forget to put our trash out, which happens every once in a while.
Yeah.
But if we go away, we also like to get all the trash out of the house. So we go up to Mellow, and you can get up there, get in the line, a giant, trash bag of stuff, $5, and up and back in 20 minutes, which, it's 20 minutes, but still we've never had an issue with it. So, and you don't have to wait in the scale line. You get in the right-hand lane. They take you right in.
Okay.
So it's convenient. And I, since we're still talking about trash, I
Yep.
also want to say kudos to Zilly for all the work that she did.
Mm.
It was, over a year of effort, and obviously Kevin as well.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, there was a whole team and it was
I
like a
know.
very supportive team. And quickly to answer Leslie's question about disposing the old carts. So this week,
Yes.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday at 10 School Ave, we're gonna be collecting them, like you can drop them off there. And any that are in good shape, we have a nonprofit that's gonna collect them for donating. And any that are in bad shape, Mellow will pick up. And if you miss that, or if you just know your pieces, your old thing is junk and not donatable, there'll be a pickup in August.
Perfect. All right. Is there anything else? Trash took us to 6:30. I know we didn't end up talking about it, but I'll just say for where did it go? The ECD charter review, just a friendly reminder, our charter has some language in it that we thought needed to be updated, so I will make sure, I already sent out the draft version to you all, but I'll send it out again and we'll cover that in our next meeting and get that off the table. All right, if there isn't anything else, then I will ask for a motion to adjourn. Anyone?
I,
Oh, no, hold on. Someone has to make the motion
oh, I make the motion.
to adjourn. Thank you. A second?
Second,
I second it.
Thank you. And I have to do this by roll call. So, Tom Capano,
Aye.
Jake Monroe,
Hi.
Zilly Bouchou,
Aye.
Leslie Voss.
Aye.
I'm having a total mind blank. Tom Rosa, I don't even know if I need you because you did second and roll call, but I'm gonna do it anyways. Tom Rosa,
aye.
Kevin Haratunian,
Yep.
and Michelle Mercier-Link, aye. So that is it for the meeting today. Thank you very much.